let me introduce you to one of the most dynamic, thoughtful, exciting innovators and public servants, Starlett Quarles, who's the founder and CEO of Minority Renewable Energy Project and a visionary of today's summit. Big round of applause for Starlett. Knock him down.
Thank you, Terry. Everybody give Terry a round of applause again. I'll pay you later, Terry. You did good. You got the cliff notes. Hi, everybody. How's everybody doing? Come on now, let's give it again. How's everybody doing? Fantastic, fantastic. Again, my name is Starlett Quarles, and I want to thank you to welcome you to the Urban Renewable Energy Summit. Now, the question is, why are we here? Terry alluded to it. How many of you know that California is going 100% renewable by 2045? Before Terry said it, how many of us knew it? So what does that mean? That means that we're going to be dependent on God's energy for our homes, our cars, how we power our TVs, get our Netflix, charge our phone. It's all going to be dependent on the sun. And we're here today because there's a whole lot of people, especially in the Black community and in communities of color, that don't know that, right? They don't know that we are having a clean transition to 100% renewable by 2045. Now, the goal of this summit is to not only let you know that California is transitioning into clean, but also to educate you on the benefits, the opportunities, and the access to resources. We have a bunch of fantastic blue and green exhibitors here to tell you just exactly how do we transition from sustainable development to workforce development and to entrepreneurship. Now, our theme today is reclaiming our sun and water. And to set the tone, about a year ago, now I'm seeing, where's my CNN junkies? Okay, I love me some CNN. So about a year ago, I was watching CNN, and I saw this excerpt on renewable energy and the faith-based community. So I want to play for you faith leaders uniting to combat climate change, just to set the tone.
The Biden White House allocated $370 billion to clean energy and climate 2 years ago with the Inflation Reduction Act. Since then, more than 750,000 families have used the new tax benefits to put up solar panels. But one of the groups might surprise you. CNN's Elisa Raffa spoke with faith leaders uniting in climate action.
After noticing more of her patients dealing with the impacts of longer allergy seasons, more extreme heat, and increasing air pollution, Dr. Neha Pathak's search for prescriptions took her down a seemingly unconventional path.
It can have a big impact on your own personal resilience. So I really looked to my faith tradition to help bolster that resilience for me.
Through that search, this physician and practicing Hindu found herself serving as a board member for Georgia Interfaith Power and Light. Her work towards climate and spiritual solutions is more connected than you might think.
So the first thing we do when we wake up in one of our prayers is to thank Mother Earth for allowing us to step on her all day long. When we take our first bite of food for the day, we thank Mother Earth for providing us this food.
As the board chair, Rabbi Lawrence Rosenthal, points out, the Bible has been talking about extreme weather for thousands of years, with examples like Noah's Ark, plagues, and famine.
When you read the book of Psalms, it does talk about the thunder and the lightning and the wind and the storms and the sea and all that it's contained. And it really focuses on experiencing God through the environment.
So while solar panels on the roof of this church may seem like an unlikely intersection between climate, religion, and politics, it's actually shining.
What are the benefits to a congregation getting solar panels?
Well, you take yourself off the grid, so we're not continuing to burn coal. The other piece of it is to, in the long term, to lower some of the electrical costs that we have.
The Inflation Reduction Act is the most significant climate legislation Congress has ever passed, making religious institutions eligible for direct pay rebates for the first time.
117 panels generate 440 watts of energy, offsetting 26% of the electricity at this church's campus. That's something that's becoming more common thanks to recent funding from the Inflation Reduction Act.
Solar is the fastest growing renewable energy source, up nearly 8-fold in the last decade. One forecast shows the Inflation Reduction Act will lead to a 48% boost in solar deployment in the next 10 years. In the 2 years since the new rebates, Georgia Interfaith Power and Light says it has seen a 50% increase in faith communities enrolling in their Solar Wise program. When it comes to the climate crisis, these faith leaders agree the calling is clear.
We have the science, we understand why this is happening, and now this faith piece is the reverence for the world around us, the moral call to do the work that aligns with the science.
Why are you as a rabbi so passionate about these environmental issues?
If I ignore the environmental crisis that we are continuing to wade through, then I'm not taking that charge seriously. I'm not caring for other human beings.
The crossroads here between climate, religion, and politics just working so well. And historically, we don't really find that that's the case, like for topics like evolution and abortion, where that gets a little bit more complicated. Now, the White House has noticed that these religious organizations are really taking on the charge of climate action. John Podesta, senior advisor to Biden on this topic, telling CNN last week that these groups have been active voices in the climate debate. They're on the front lines of dealing with the effects of extreme weather because they are the ones that are in the disadvantaged communities. And again, it's not just one religion. We're seeing multiple religions come together and show us that we are much more similar than we might think. Paula?
Alisa Rafa, thank you.
Now, there is so much that I can take. Yeah, go ahead, give it a round of applause. I see somebody want to. There's so much I can take away from that video, and I'll probably reference it again later on, but just for brevity, I'm going to talk about just 2 points that stood out to me. Just the spiritual interconnection between ourselves and Mother Earth, and as we're celebrating Earth Day today, Earth Day this month rather, it brings to home our responsibility to take care of her the way we did in the past, the way we need to do in the future, and the way we should do for our generations to come, and what we need to do to create a sustainable future for the next generation's children's children. And like our speaker is going to probably reference, this is like the Sankofa bird, which reminds us that we must continue to move forward as we remember our past. At the same time, we must plant seeds for the generations that come after us. And who could be more befitting than to speak on this particular topic than our opening remarks from Dr. Denise Fair.